Welcome back to the Creative Process Podcast with myself, Jared Klein. Today on episode 20, you will see that it's going to be a little bit different today. I put out a tweet on let me pull this up here, get a little back end, but I put out a tweet on when did I put out a tweet? On the 17th. Today we are recording on the 18th. It's going on the 19th. But basically, I put out a tweet right here on the Creative Process Twitter account at @CPPodcast_. So that will be down below if you want to follow that, please, and kind of go in there. But basically, I said, link me your favorite projects you have done, and I will review it on the podcast this week. In parentheses, if we have enough. Well, obviously, if I'm doing this, we have enough. So we are going to be going down the list and kind of going into just kind of looking at the projects and kind of giving opinions, because I think that's awesome. So yeah, this other one, I'm uploading a short onto the YouTube channel, so that's what you guys get to see. But yeah, different type of style of podcast. I know this is a little different, but visually, if you are listening to this and you're not watching it, visually you probably will gain more value from this episode if you're watching it. So I highly suggest, if you can't find time right now as you're listening to this to watch it, I highly suggest either bookmarking it or saving it or whatever you want to do, making a reminder to watch this when you have the opportunity to watch it. Obviously, if you're not able to watch it right now, I guess, yeah. So, I already said that. So, yeah, let's get into it. So, basically, first on the list, we have S3E20 Visuals. I think I pronounced that correctly. But he's a creative football producer for the Camels. Campbell's, maybe? Yeah, the Campbell Camels. So, we will look at this Instagram reel. I think desktop audio is on.
Look at this dude.
Oh my God! Prank him, John.
Ooh.
No cry.
Hemi Neutron. Hemi John.
He's him. Why are you running? Why are you?
Oh, this is so loud. I'm so sorry. And we'll turn it down here. Let's restart it. Actually. Let's restart it. Okay.
Look at this dude.
Oh my God! Prank him, John.
I'm moving this down.
No cry.
Hemi Neutron. Hemi John.
He's him. Why are you running? Why are you? No, God!
William, knife man.
Hello there.
How long is this?
Yeah, boy. Hello there.
The editing.
Hasta la vista, baby.
Sorry, bro.
Okay, so initial opinions. I love this edit style. It's fantastic. This is so good. I love the memes that have been coming out. I'm seeing all of these on like TikTok. This type of concept is on TikTok. It's fantastic. I love watching this stuff. Like teams are posting stuff exactly like this. It's so good. S3E20, yes. Amazing. I love this. I didn't mean to restart it, but yes, love this. This is fantastic. All right, next. This is going to test my pronunciation of foreign names. Odds Maravillas. Let's see, where is he from? London, England. Maybe it's not Maravillas. I don't know. That's my first guess there. Okay, let's look at what he has here. So it's a Usman versus Edwards 2. Shows the process here. Okay, shows the process. One thing that's bugging me on this, I know it's something that doesn't really matter, but it's the dots, the extra dots in the stroke. just because you had to outline it. That just means you didn't cut it out as well. But nitpicky. Let's see the final. So my guess is this is the final. Okay, you have design breakdown. Okay. So yeah, this is the final. I love the depth of field. Love the rocks. Love the sparks. I want to see more orange. But overall, I think you did a really good job. Kudos to you. Yeah, the lighting, I mean, there's some green in his skin right now that you don't really see anywhere else. The rocks are more cooler. They're cooler toned. So the green in his skin, you can almost revert that green to make it a little bit more blue in selective color in Photoshop. But up top, I think everything else looks really good. Him sitting on the Kamaru Usman sitting on the throne, I think is really cool. Excuse me as I burp. The textures, like the overlay textures that you got going on, I love them. But yeah, I guess the only thing that I would change would be the cooler tones in the rocks. Either change them to hotter, which honestly, since you have fire and sparks, I couldn't think of what they were called. Fire and sparks. Probably make it warmer tones down below. Make the whole thing warmer. But other than that, I think you did a really good job. So kudos to you, sir. Okay, so let's see. Filmic overlay effect. Okay. Tinted glow on both fighters' skin from the orange atmospheric effects such as flame, sparks, and smoke. Okay. Custom throne design from scratch, representing Usman's American and Nigerian heritage. Love that. Usman in a green suit and belt from scratch using multiple assets. Okay. Rock formation creating multiple rock fixtures to create symmetrical surrounding to showcase throne. British and Jamaican flag counter to show Edwards. Okay. Yeah. I think the explanation of everything is awesome. Personally, I don't think creating depth with custom-made arena screen, I don't think that makes depth. I think if you just keep pushing back using, assets like smoke or, different lighting, I personally don't think you need the image in the back, but that's personal preference. Just to create depth, there are other ways to create depth, I think. But, yeah, overall, I think you did a really good job. So kudos to you, man. I'll give you an appreciation. Awesome. Moving on, we got some here on Twitter. It looks like Max linked twice, so I'm going to review the top ones. Not a link, but these are my personal favorites. Okay, Max Haladun. I probably butchered that. So, Dogga Edits, at Dogga Edits on Twitter. Okay. So, something for a Avalanche player. That's the only thing I know about this picture. Stanley Cup he's holding, but I don't really know hockey. Okay, next one. Paulo Banchero and Sean Tucker. Okay, so let's talk about the Paulo Banchero one. Yeah, if that's okay with you, Max, let's talk about the Paulo Banchero one. So basically, first thing I see are the skin tones in his photo that's used in the foreground and the skin tones that are used in the, I guess, midground, because it's not background, because the galaxy and everything is in the background. So the photo in the, I guess, behind, in the midground is more orangey. His skin tone's more orangey, and his skin tone is a lot more muted in the foreground image. I guess changing those, making sure your tones match the best, match as well as they can. That's where I would start. The blue basketballs, okay, yeah, there's a lot of people doing that. I think that's cool, but then I want to see more blue in this. Like, you have the stars for the magic. I love it. You're kind of putting it in space. The composition's really cool. But I guess make it more blue. Make it more ambient. Make it more, I guess not ambient. Make it more, I'll use a word from the last description, atmospheric, just to kind of fit the whole composition together. The blue, I guess, lighting around the edge, that's completely fine to go with, but make more blue, like more lighting on the players. I see you changed the moon around to make it a little bit more blue. You could even change the background. One thing I will say about the background is try to find higher quality images. There's a way on Google. I may put up a tutorial or maybe a short or something that to get higher res images on Google. It'll be like a 5-second tutorial, if anything. But yeah, make sure you have higher res images in your background. Makes it a little bit easier to see. Either that, or if they are low res, maybe blur them out a little bit. That could be a possibility. That could fix the low res issue. But yeah, kudos to you for giving the composition a try. I like it. it's a really good start. Just some fine tuning some things. So, Max, thank you for linking to the Twitter thread here. Next, Pari. I don't know when we're ending here. Okay, so it looks like we're ending with Jaquel. Okay. Awesome. So, Parineth. That's a cool name. I probably butchered it, but Tottenham Hotspur social media rebrand on Behance. Personal project. Okay, so it wasn't commissioned. Just to start, I love the don't know why I'm looking at my phone, but I love the different lineup graphic. I guess this is the same typeface. It's just it's just italicized or oblique, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, so the composition is awesome. I love the colors. The composition and colors are awesome. The contrast from the player, his skin tone works really well. I like that orange. I think that looks cool. Others may think it doesn't. The one thing when it comes to color that I will say is the whites in the Tottenham Hotspur jersey or kit, you can tell are a little bit more creamy, and there's more of a natural white or a true white behind him. So the only thing that I would do is take a selective color, go to whites, and take down the yellows, take down the oranges, take down the blues, so that where this gets to a very pure white. You'll also see that in like his teeth and his eyes when you do that as well. It'll get closer to matching the background, but that's nitpicky. Another thing when it comes to type, this type is tougher to read, especially when it comes to displaying like almost like body text treatment. Heading is okay. You can really easily see that this is starting 11, but once you italicize this and the kerning is a little bit too tight for this typeface, in my opinion. Once you italicize it and the kerning's tight, and once you like start having to showcase things that are supposed to be red, it gets a little clunky. So maybe a different typeface or maybe a lighter version of this typeface. Down below, I would use like a secondary typeface to display the subs so they're easily readable. They're not supposed to be as important, so using a tertiary or a secondary typeface to kind of pair up nicely with this main typeface that you're using, that would work as well. When it comes to ghosting the logos, I would do a true ghost of the logos. Figure out what they have in their brand guideline, because I see with the Southampton logo, there's a different tone for the tree, there's a different tone for the waves. So making sure you have the right ghosted logos, but that's nitpicky. Love the mock-up that you do there as well. Substitutions. I don't think you need to. This is personal preference again. I don't think you need to grayscale him, Harry Kane's body. I don't think you need to. I think the treatment that you got going on with like these really saturated skin tones that you're using, I think you should keep that going. They know that it's off here. If you want to showcase that it's off, maybe use arrows, red or green arrows, or just treat the graphic differently. I don't think you have to change the photo treatment. That's personal preference. But, yeah. I love these. Making sure, like, the utilization before game coverage, when it comes to game coverage, is huge. And making sure it's easily usable. We talked about this on the last episode, or on the episode with Anthony Garro, episode 18. So making sure this is usable across platforms and also across users. Like, whoever's updating this, they just got to throw an image in this. So kudos to you. I think this looks really, really good. And then, yeah, same thing. This goal one, if you want to use a current image from the game, that's one thing. But using this, you can have these, predetermined with the kits that they're wearing for that game. So kudos. And then this one, obviously, you're going to want to use a photo. The man of the match one, you're going to want to use a photo of the game. So, yeah. Overall, I love it. I love the composition. I love the complementing shapes. I mean, the contrasting shapes. You have the circles and then the rough edges of the rectangles and everything that you use. I think this main typeface that you use goes really well with it, because the slanting of the, the off-centering or tilting of the images and the assets that you're using, I think it goes really well. One thing that I will say is possibly slant the image. You have this one slanting, slightly towards the left. maybe slant this one slightly towards the right. Just variation in visual variation and everything. And also switching up the circles as well, because the circles are the same in both these images, and one's for full-time, one's for halftime, one's for man of the match. I see you switch them a little bit here, potentially. At least this blue circle is different than this side. Yeah, so you switch that around. But the variation of brand elements and the placement of everything can very easily make this a little bit more dynamic, but also keep it consistent. So, yeah. Pari, thank you for submitting this. Awesome. Lysander, I know I was talking about this to one of my buddies today at work. I'm very excited to see this. So, United Plates of America, Part 3. I think I should look at Part 2 or Part 1. So this is Montana, Wyoming. This is Alabama, Missouri. This is California. Okay, so Part 1 is California, it looks like. I got to follow you, by the way. California is Part 1. Okay. So yeah, these are so cool. I like seeing different types of designs. I'm going to get a drink here. And showcasing, different types of plates. This is so cool. I think just for viewer, we're just going to sit back and I'm going to scroll through these and we're just going to look at them and just keep complimenting them because they're done super well. I did not know they had one of these. Okay, awesome. Super personalized plates in California. Kudos to them. Snoopy, okay. So many different types of plates. This is really cool. All personalized. Team ones, okay. Love it. Yes, okay. California, done. Part 1, Part 2, this is Part 2. Alabama to Missouri. Okay. So this is current. This is a new one, and then, okay, sounds good. So we're going Alaska. Love Alaska. Beautiful state. They may have the yellow for a reason. I don't know. Love Alaska. American Samoa. Okay. Cool. Implementation of the flag, maybe, right there. Arizona. Okay. Arkansas. That's different. Never knew they were the natural state. California, Colorado. Like this. This one that they have right here. The Rockies just did a uniform. Their city uniform is on that, based off that license plate. So I don't think they're going to be changing it anytime soon, but you never know. Connecticut, this is cool. The Constitution State. Love that. Yeah, this blue one doesn't make sense. This, yeah, love the old style elements in this. Super cool. First state, Delaware. Cool. Washington, D.C., implementation of the Capitol. That's cool. End taxation without representation. Love that. Florida, cool. I like this. I don't know. Maybe I'm just used to seeing the state, but I think the implementation of the state is cool. But this is Miami, specific to Miami-Dade County. Or Dade County, I think it's called. Peach State for Georgia. Cool. Guam. Hawaii. Different color variations using the flowers as the islands. That's cool. Like that. I'm saying cool a lot, but it's cool. Okay, green for Illinois, or for Idaho, Illinois. My guess are these patterns are related somehow. I know largest pre-colonial pyramid in North America, Central Illinois, diamond pattern, state capital. Okay, that makes sense. Indiana, love this just because the Indianapolis 500. Okay, Iowa with all the frickin' corn in Iowa. Kansas, Sunflower State. Kentucky, cool. Louisiana, Bayou State, love that. Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, Minnesota. Okay, so I kind of get the gist. I'm interested to see Wisconsin because Lysander came to me for this, I think, right? I think Lysander came to me to ask what Wisconsin was all about. Yes, America's Dairyland, Sesquicentennial license plates, Milwaukee skyline, Apostle Islands. Wordmark is inspired by an optional plate design. And contains 2 truckles of cheese. Love that. Okay. Yeah. I like the Wisconsin one, man. Kudos to you. But yeah, by the way, links to all these projects and everything will be down below. So, well, at least the ones that have links. Well, maybe I'll just put the tweet link to everything. But yeah, they'll be down below if you want to see them again. But Lysander, thank you. I'll follow you again. Thank you for submitting. Hayden Joyner, bit of an old one, but it holds a special spot. Okay, Hayden. Don't know why I'm not following you on Behance. Gotta appreciate the project. Concept: Southeastern Football Association is a pre-10 minor league football soccer league that spans across 4 of the United States, southern states: Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina, and Tennessee. This area is a hot spot for youth soccer, with high schools in the area producing national championship teams. With the MLS announcement of Charlotte FC, it's only appropriate that a minor professional league was created to cater to this area of soccer/football growth. 4 boxers represent the 4 states in the league. Combination of the red and 3 shades of blue are a tribute to the sunsets and the oceans of the what? Okay. Okay. Love the branding. I'm really feeling the branding. The teams. Okay. You're making badges. That's a very interesting secondary. Okay. But Greenwood FC. Okay. Uniforms as well. Mock-ups. Love that. Rock Hill RH with the rectangle behind it. Okay, I think that's cool as well. These are looking really, really nice. On this one, this is nitpicky with the sash that comes across, or the middle, I guess not the sash, the middle color of green may not roll over to the sleeve that well, but that's nitpicky. FC Charleston. Okay, you don't really see secondary logos that used that often in football or in soccer. Sorry, I saw football, but you don't really see them used that much in soccer. But it's an interesting take. I love it. I love the different types of patterns and unique ways you are doing things. Augusta Flight, the A right there. Okay, yeah, I love this. Wait, that's a wayfinding, right? That's a wayfinding. Okay. Love the orange or gold, whatever you want to call it. I think you're doing a really good job on these Hayden. Wilmington grid. Okay, yeah, for this secondary logo, you probably could have just had it there, but you don't need to use it on the chest, maybe. That's a preference. And then sponsors would have an issue with that logo being cut in the half by a stripe. I think this alternate uniform is sick. That could very easily be in a way. But yeah, love this. FC Knoxville. Yeah, see, this is more along the lines of a secondary crest or a secondary logo, but that they would use that in branding, but they wouldn't really use it on the jerseys. Savannah City. Love the patterns. Sponsored by Corsair. Love that. Raleigh FC. Okay. Yeah, Hayden, overall, I love it. I love it, man. I really do. I hope the right people see this and you get the opportunity to design something like this. This is really cool. Kudos to you, man. Very, very good. Love how it turned out. Okay. Rock on. Match Day Graphics, or Ruckin. I don't know how to pronounce your name. I'm sorry. Rakan. That's going to bug me. Moving into Match Day Graphics. This is a very popular thing I'm seeing on Behance more and more and more and more and more. Is that... No, that's not Malik Tillman, is it? I don't think it is. I may be freaking out. I wonder if you get contracted to do these or if you just do them for fun. If you do them for fun, kudos. Kudos to you. It looks like you may, because it looks like on some of these you're sponsored. Like there's a sponsor in there, NRG Media. So overall, I love the variation in these. Obviously, the composition can only be so different in the limited space that you're using, but I love the variation in these. There are a couple that you could improve the contrast on, like this one. This Ben White one, I think his skin just gets lost. All you got to do is up the exposure on him. It'll fix it. Or just do a different color correction on him so his skin doesn't, get too dark. But overall, man, I love match day stuff. I think all players, if they have the opportunity to do this stuff, all players should do it. But the variation, like this is so cool. The implementation of the Apple lock screen, so cool. Let me move my chair up here. But yeah, so cool. Very well done. I love all this stuff. A lot of this, I'm not going to get too nitpicky because there's so many. The only thing, yeah, like this one, maybe this was for the same match day. No, it looks like they were different because it was Blackpool versus Blackburn, and this was Blackpool versus Burnley. So yeah, maybe not using the same photos and everything, but also that's dependent on what assets you have as well. So that could be, a deciding factor. But overall, man, these are sick. These are awesome. I love the versatility. So kudos to you on exploring so many different types of styles and so many different types of treatment. So yeah, kudos to you, man. Very, very well done. Awesome to see. 2 favorites. So which one is this? I'll just click on this Adidas Gucci one. Just because Karim Benzema won the Ballon d'Or recently. So we're just gonna use this one. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think I've seen this one. Yeah. I have seen this one, but I haven't appreciated it. This is sick. This looks dope. All right, we're moving. Karim Benzema. Gucci is such an iconic brand. Okay, so you only did 2 pieces, but Gucci is such an iconic brand. You can pair anyone with it. This is awesome. Okay, so you have him. Must have been photos that you saw. He must have had a. There must have been a campaign with him in it already, and you wanted to give your take. Love it. I really do love this. Maybe using more neutral tones in photo treatment. Potentially using a gradient map in photo treatment may do the business, but I love how you're including something. I mean, their monogram pattern in the background. I love that, but also including that Gucci snake in the bottom right there, or bottom left there. So I was intrigued by this one. Kudos to you. Different types of design. I love this. This type of high-end luxury design is always super interpretive and can be really whatever. So whatever you want to do here is always, a go. But kudos to you on this project. Shikar. I think I pronounced it. I hope I didn't pronounce that shitty, but Shikar, awesome. Really good. Loved it. Okay, so we have another video. I think I've seen this one. I think I have seen this, but we're going to pause it. We're going to make it full screen so people can see it. But then we're going to go here.
It's classical gold art. Urban blacksmith, blacklisted Mozart.
Yes, I love this. I love this so much. I hope what is it? What's the word? I'll give you a follow. I'll follow this one too. I'll give you a follow on that one. Okay, so you gave credits on music. Awesome. Implementation of static and motion, super well done. That's all I gotta say. You did a great job on this. You did a really good job on this. Kudos to you. And then the last one, and then I'll do a little plug piece for Small Time Pod. Let's go into this. Jaquel Anderson, Halo AU, Photoshop manipulation. Number of layers 648. Completion time 4 days. PSD file 893.8 megabytes. Holy crap. Oh wait, that's not that big. That's not even a gig. Canvas dimension 1700 by 2100 pixels. Adobe Photoshop. Okay, let's see this. Holy wowza. I'm just taking it all in. That's why I'm silent here. An ancient artifact is unearthed. Now it's humanity's only hope. Yes. I love this. When it comes to photo manipulation, the one thing that I am seeing is that there's no blur on these planes, but there is blur on these planes. And there's no blur on these planes. And there's no blur on those. And there's no blur on these. I don't know if they need blur. Maybe they're not moving as fast as, these ones. But one thing I will kind of say is that you can see the very, very hard edge here of this spaceship, I guess you want to call it. This hard edge here. That's one thing that's kind of bugging me. It's personal preference, but that just means, in my eyes, is that the blending of this, maybe, even just like a rim light around it, or if there's like light coming, because I know there's light coming from here, so maybe there's light hitting here, but the lighting on this is all over the place. The lighting on these are kind of all over the place, but this stuff is just hard. I can sit back and give you critique on these and tell you to pay attention more to lighting, which I hope you're not taking that the wrong way. It may sound like I'm being a dick, but when it comes to a piece like this, especially with all the detail that's in it, there's things that you may miss. So when it comes to this, I would, when you think you're done, go away from it, come back, reanalyze things. The lighting on the guy right here, I think, is really well done. The only thing with this glow, the way it's shining and how exposed it is right here, it may be emitting a little bit more light on his bag, a little bit more light on his, butt area, a little bit more light, probably not as much light on his sleeve here, but just the small considerations of things. And even this can emit light onto this box here if you really wanted to add some blues. But the contrasting colors of orange and blue, and then the addition of green, and still having the orange hits all over the place, looks really, really well. Okay, I love how you did this too, just the implementation of all these sources and images that you put in here. Yeah, kudos to you for even wanting to attempt this. So awesome, man. Awesome. I think this turned out really, 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 really good. And then you have this as well. Yeah, this is cool. The compositing and everything is done really well. Kudos to you. Kudos to you for wanting to try to do that. I'll be honest. But yeah, so one last thing. Small time. Basically, what is small time? Highlighting the small moments and impactful stories that makes up our sports world. Hosted by Hayden J Design. Basically, let me go to the bit.ly here to give a little thinger. But yeah, he does, just little, like he sits down and does, little stories, little small documentary types of things on topics all around sports. I know this may be I think this is more of a passion project for Hayden, but yeah, he linked an episode to my tweet. He linked an episode to it, so I'll actually go back and show you what episode he linked. It should be down below. I think he linked one. Was it in that tweet that I was just on? Yes. Yeah, so he linked one right here, Football City, USA. I haven't given it a listen yet, but I have listened to a couple of these, and he does a really good job. So, yeah, if you want to listen to Small Time, it's a very niche type of podcast, I think, in my eyes. I think he does a good job. So, yeah, go there. This is also where I upload the podcast, Anchor by Spotify. Go to Anchor as well. You probably have heard the ad in this episode already, but go to Anchor. Does a really good job of distributing podcasts and does a really good job of having podcasts. But yeah, we will go back to this screen. Thank you for coming out today on episode 20 of the Creative Process Podcast with myself, Jared Klein. I hope you have an awesome rest of your day, and I hope you enjoyed kind of like this format. I know we did it for the first episode of season 3. I reviewed portfolios. I think that's what it was. It was like an hour and a half longer, an hour and 10 minutes. So this one was obviously a lot less time. But thank you to everyone that linked. All the stuff will be down below in the description. So yeah. Again, thank you for coming out today. And as always, make sure you tell someone that you love them. All right, we will see you in episode 21 next week. All right, peace.